Hello ladies and gentlemen, gabestah here, and this is a quick guide for heroic Jin'rokh the Breaker. If you're looking for a lot more detail, go ahead and click on the annotation there for the full guide with more information. So let's get started. For your raid composition, pretty standard stuff. You'll need 2 tanks and 2 to 3 healers. I would recommend 2 healers as there's very little damage on this encounter. In addition to all the normal abilities, on Heroic there's a new ability called Ionization. This is cast once per puddle phase, 30 seconds after Thundering Throw is cast on the tank. At this point, Ionization is cast by the boss, and it applies a debuff to everyone in the raid except for your tanks. This debuff lasts 15 seconds, and at the end, if it expires or is dispelled with a magic dispel, it will explode and deal heavy nature damage to that player, plus anyone around them. So the best way to deal with this is to have a player step out of the puddle just prior to their ionization expiring, or when they're going to be dispelled by the healer or someone else. Usually you'll want to do this in a rotation so that only 1 or 2 people on any given side of the puddle are stepped out to be dispelled, because you don't want people to be too close together. So we just have our DPS kind of rotate in turns, with 1 healer covering group 1 and 1 healer covering group 2. Any players that have the ability to dispel themselves should do so. So shamans, for example, with shamanistic rage glyph can dispel themselves, priests, mass dispel, that kind of stuff. That will all help your healers out pretty much. The second major change on Heroic is Lightning Storm. As you can see here, it causes a number of electric bolts to fire out in random directions that must be dodged by the raid. These emanate from pillars that will spawn in random locations around the arena. If a player gets hit by a pillar, they may die outright. It does a lot of damage, so it's best to try to avoid those as much as possible. The bolts, on the other hand, will not kill you outright. You can take 2 or 3 hits without dying, but beyond that you will need a cooldown or some healing between the bolts to survive. The best thing to do for survival is to have your raid move to sort of one central location when the storm is about to start, so that you're within heal range of your healers, and then just do your best to dodge the bolts from that area. Once the storm is over or is about to end, your healers should be able to use any minor heal cooldowns to bring players back above reasonable health level, and then survive the explosion that Jin'rokh does following the storm. From there, it's just a repeat, and you'll go back through the puddle phase, and then another storm, and so on and so forth, just like on normal. So believe it or not, that's really all there is to heroic Jin'rokh. He's very simple for the first heroic boss, and that's appropriate. So just work on the ionization rotation, get players out when they need to be dispelled, and then survive the storms with as many cooldowns as you can, and you should get it down. Good luck, and thanks for watching.